Hey, and how are you doing today? I hope everyone's doing well. I just wanted to take today and kind of make a video about how I make one of my favorite tags. It's one of my earliest designs, but it's been really popular, and I don't know if it's just the simplicity or something, but a lot of people like it, and I figured it was a good tag to just kind of show off and show how I stamp metal. If you're new to metal stamping or are just kind of curious how it happens or looking for some ideas, yeah, stick around. So this is one of the tags that I do make. I make a bunch of designs. This one's different. The name is off-centered. Normally they're in the middle and everything. And on the back of tags, I have, so the name's here on the back, which isn't here because this is just a display tag, but I have the option of adding phone numbers as well, and it's one or two, whatever's there. Stamping the phone numbers aren't a huge deal. I'm going to be more focused on the design itself and how to make it. There's a lot of people who are really good at just grabbing a tag and knowing exactly where to put the name, how to keep it level, and everything like that. I'm not one of those people. I wish I was, but I definitely don't have that superpower. So what I've done is made a template. This one's old, I should really replace it, but it's been really useful for a lot of my things. The circle fits perfectly, and it gives lines for whichever design I have. It's already right there, and it just lets me kind of make the measurements right away without fiddling around with it too much or making a bunch of mistakes. So if you are looking at making a bunch of tags, I suggest making a template, measure it and everything. It saves a lot of time and a lot of headache. The first thing I do with most of my tags is draw a quick cross section right down the middle so that you know exactly where it is and your tag's not going to be off-centered, as well as one through the halfway mark. You see that this isn't exactly centered upwards. It's a bit lower, and it's on purpose because it accommodates the letters that I have for writing, so that when you stamp it on there, the letter itself will be centered, as opposed to if the line was centered, obviously the name would be higher and that gets confusing. So just a little tip there, and that's why that's lower. Another thing I do is I look at the name and I actually mark out spacings so that the letters aren't squished against each other. Again, a lot of people can just eyeball this and stamp right across. I'm not those people. I can't do that at all. So I like to do it, measure out based on the letters and make sure that it's going to be even or even-ish so that it's not all crammed together or off-center. Then what I do is just stamp from one end to the other. You can go either way. For some reason I always work out backwards, and I don't know if that's personal preference or if it makes sense, but that's kind of what I do. So just grab the letter, center it on the line that you've made, give it a good stamp, and it'll fit in. There you go. The name is perfectly lined up. It's even because of the tape, and it's centered because of the marks that I made there. Now that that's out of the way, the next step is putting the tree design. As you can see, there's a slight curve to it, kind of a moon design, I guess, a pathway, however you want to look at it. But I need it to be somewhat curved so it's not just a straight line, like a wall. So for that, I do a very, very casual and very lazy sort of template like that. I don't usually stick with it, but it's there just to show me and keep me in mind that I'm doing a curve and not a line. And the design uses two trees intermittently. So what I do is grab one tree design first. I don't know if you can see it from there. Yeah, so there's one that's a little more squat and wider, and then another tall one. So I'll grab one. I guess let's just do the tall one first and just kind of put it around, making a general shape of what I'm looking at. Then what I'll do is grab the next one, which is this little guy here, and start filling in a bit more. Now that you've got the basic shape, it's all about figuring out where to fill in. So I'll switch to the taller one and just kind of stick a piece here. And maybe one there. And yeah, I'll put one there. Might be crowded, but it's a little lonely. Now, you see, I didn't fully stamp it there. A bit of it failed to go in. So what you do is carefully line it up again. You'll feel where it goes in. And hope for the best. There you go. Now it's perfect. And once it's all stamped, what I do is use some rubbing alcohol and a paper towel and just wipe off the guidelines there so that it's all ready for the enamel that I mark in. I just use an Impress Art enamel marker, and I just rub it over the design and then wipe it off with a paper towel so that it stays in the grooves. So you just wipe it basically everywhere. I try and cover the whole tag because, I mean, why not? And then just wipe it off after a bit. You might need to do it a couple times. Sometimes I end up wiping everything off and that's not good. But just do it until it's as dark as you want it and just let it sit. So then you take some paper towel and just kind of wipe it off. Sometimes it takes a bit, but it comes off eventually. And there you go. This is the tag all darkened up and cleaned off. What I might do on this one though is actually coat it with enamel again and just let it, I end up wiping it lightly and letting it dry for a while and then coming at it with rubbing alcohol. That way it just keeps the stuff in the grooves or in the indents a lot darker. And the other stuff will come off. It just kind of makes it pop a little bit more, but this is the basic process of it. And what it'll end up doing as well is just pop on a little split ring here, so it attaches to a collar, and it's good to go. Thanks for sticking around and watching me make one of my favorite tags. I hope you enjoyed it, or at least picked up a trick or two. And I'm hoping to make a few videos like this, just kind of showing different techniques that I've learned, or just some making things and showing off some tags, stuff like that. So until next time, I hope you have a good day.